Yes, everybody, and welcome to MMA Latest. My name is Stephen Howson. This is Andreas, and we are here today in the Kingdom of Bahrain for the 2019 World MMA Championships hosted by IMMAF. And do you know what? This is, to me, honestly, it is like the Olympic Games of mixed martial arts. How good is it?
It's incredible, but you have to be here to truly pick up the atmosphere and see how great it is. We're here in the Kingdom of Bahrain, the third year in a row for IMMAF to hold the World Championships here, and the biggest ever event with 51 nations, 440 athletes. Doesn't get much bigger than this in the amateur MMA circuit.
It doesn't get much bigger than this, and we're going to be taking a look at not just how big it gets, but look at some of the quality. I remember when amateurs was literally a couple of people used to have a fight in a sports hall, someone to get a handshake, right, you're going pro next week, have a good one. So the levels have just gone through the absolute roof, and there's obviously a lot of fighters that we know from back home that are basically professional fighters. They train with professional fighters, they do every single thing a professional fighter does except pick a checkup on their way home. So the level of amateur mixed martial arts is going through the roof, and that's because of awesome competitions like this. Now, coming up in this episode, we're going to be taking a look at a couple of sensational submissions.
Super sensational.
We have got an unbelievable knockout, and we've also got a performance that it didn't result in a knockout. It could have resulted in a knockout, but it needs looking into. So let's get straight into all of these then. And the focus for me today, because it's been a little bit of a surprise, is the quality of Kazakhstan's MMA team. I'm almost lost for words about how to describe them. How would you describe it?
Well, there was a lot going on in Kazakhstan politically. There were a few different federations that were vying for that one recognition under the government. Recently, under IMMAF and WAMA, under the merger, in fact, they came together and formed one unified body. And ever since then, we've just seen the levels go up with Team Kazakhstan. And as you've mentioned today, with some of the finishes we've seen, every time they step into those cages here at Khalifa Sports City Arena, they're just putting on an incredible performance. Knockouts, submissions, and even if it does go to a decision, we're seeing levels and levels of technical superiority from them.
It's outrageous, the level of skill that we're seeing. And like, Dagestan has currently got this reputation of being the hotbed of where the world's MMA fighters are going to come to. I'm going to put it to you guys. I'm going to put it to you. Is Kazakhstan about to become the new Dagestan for where fighters come from? And why aren't the big organisations picking up fighters from this region?
Yeah, I think definitely they're one of those nations that, in the pro ranks, we're talking about the UFC, Bellator perhaps, there hasn't been a big spotlight on them, and there hasn't been a big production of talent coming out of Kazakhstan, but it's certainly there. Kazakhstan have got some massive shows themselves, and they are showcasing this level of athlete. And when we come to the IMMAF events, we're seeing it before our very own eyes how good they are. You just look at the likes of Musabek, Tursan. There are just so many. You couldn't even name them all. That's how they're developing the athletes right now.
Today we are at the quarter-final stage of the seniors, and we are at the semi-final stage. That's all happened today. Give me the Kazakhstan record today.
So I believe that Team Kazakhstan, in the junior divisions, they're taking 6 over to the finals. And in the senior ranks, so going into the semi-finals tomorrow, 8.
That is what I would call domination.
Absolutely.
Now, if the UK was taking 8 fighters into a semi-final stage or 6 fighters into a final stage, that would probably... It probably wouldn't be, but it probably should be national news back home.
Yeah, it's a big accolade right there.
Yeah, and I've been so impressed with some of the fighters, and you're about to see some of those fighters that have really impressed me. So let's start then with my fight of the night, and of course it features a Kazakhstani. Of course it does. Zanabek from Kazakhstan was lining up against junior world champion Mohamed Makayev from England, and we're not sure. We're going to look into it. We think that there's a very real chance that Mohamed Makayev has never dropped a round in any sort of competition.
Yeah.
Now, that happened today, and it happened in this fight. Let's have a look at it.
But Zanibek able to pop up, escape, and reset. Have a look at some of the action here. This is what Mohamed Makayev is so good at. Multiple weight British champion at wrestling. That's his trademark, but great reaction. Look at that spin out there from Zanibek. That is superb stuff. In the air, rotates himself. And Mo manages to get it down to the ground again. Not just at the food he's eating right now, but also seeing how hard these two are working to fight their way to compete against him for that gold jersey. And here we have Makayev on the bottom. Zanibek able to take Mokaev down. But my goodness, this last 3 minutes, it all happens here right now. Who can claim their place tomorrow in that junior bantamweight fight? Comfortable move. And next up, we see Mokaev fighting hard, avoiding that trip. In the third round, he did so well. Put a lot of pressure, closed that distance, and he will move forward. And this ankle pick was lovely. That was the end of the fight. He will move forward. Once again. Deep breath there from Dean Garnett. Mo, congratulations, round 3, yeah? Hey, how are you? What a moment, that looked good? Gold jersey number 3, yeah? Ryo Yamaguchi sat watching.
Mokaev there picking up the victory in what I think is about as close as a fight as you're going to see. And I have to say, coming back from the adversity of that second round, I honestly think that third round could have even gone either way.
Yeah.
The way the Kazakhstani guy got up at the end and the way Mohammed got up at the end, I honestly wouldn't have forgiven. I wouldn't have been an issue, I don't think, if it had gone the other way. I think you could have easily scored that fight for either. A lot of people disagree with that. A lot of people think it was very dominant from Mo in the third round, which got him the victory. I need to watch it properly again, I think, and really have a score of it. But what makes this more impressive is the difficulties that he overcame yesterday, isn't it?
Absolutely. You know, the levels of adversity that Mohammed Mokaev has had to come through in this tournament already. Yesterday, he fought against a Bulgarian boy called Atanzov, and in that fight, it was probably the most adversity up until that point Mohammed Mokaev has faced in his MMA career. He got dropped in the second round, a tight armbar submission attempt there as well.
Extremely tight
We see, you can look at the pictures, you can look at the clips, you can see the grimacing on his face. Mohammed Mokaev, he got through it, but it was tough, and he came through that with the decision. And then today, again, another difficult fight against Zanibek. He's not taking an easy route to retaining his world title.
No, he's not taking an easy route whatsoever. Like I said, a lot of adversity that he had to overcome yesterday. He's gone to the judge's decision again today in an extremely tough fight against an extremely tough Kazakhstani in Zanibek. This is why, for me, this was the fight of the day that I've seen so far. And there's probably some that I've missed because there's so many fights going on at the same time. But for me, the storyline of what's going on there, Mokaev chasing down that 2-time world title, and he's overcome this adversity and this adversity again. And we're going to come back to Mokaev a little bit later on as well as we look ahead to tomorrow's final. But before we get into those, I want to talk to you about performance of the night.
So my performance of the night has to go to Big Sham Makhmumedov from Team Russia, a former junior gold medalist, and now he's doing it in the senior super heavyweight division. Oh my word, what a knockout that was.
Let's take a look at this fight.
Oh, lands cleanly to the face of Makhmudin. Heavy shots being traded now. Oh, and there's the big shot. It's all over. Makhmudin drops Wolfhook for the first time, and it is all over.
And we are going to be talking about Makhmudinov again a little bit later on because he is in the fights to look ahead to tomorrow. And oh my God, this is definitely a do not blink situation coming up
completely
tomorrow. Oh my God, I can't wait. Which leads us on to our other performance of the night. Now, I wanted this to end in a knockout. I'm not going to lie to you. I was watching this fight and I grabbed our cameraman Callum. I was like, let's wait here and finish watching this because this is definitely ending in someone going to sleep. And somehow it didn't. Taeushin has put on an absolute striking clinic. This was a joy to watch. And I actually clocked her in the warm-up area beforehand. And I think I came over and said to you, I think there's an actual ninja backstage. And when you actually go and watch her fight, she's having fun. She's expressing herself. She is throwing angles that you just don't even know exist. Listen, if you're a major organisation in the mixed martial arts world and you're not thinking about signing her, you are wrong. Let's have a look at why. But it's not all just about kicks and fancy kicks and kicking people in the throat. Naughty, that one. But we have seen some wonderful submissions. Now, what was the one that you spotted that you really liked today?
Dear me. What do the words go-go platter mean to you? Because to most people, it means a lot. It's an incredibly rare submission. We don't very much see it inside the MMA cage.
It's one I like to say a lot.
It is, well, it's a fun name to say, and it's fun to watch as well, because the entire room almost just stood in absolute awe when Yernaz Musabek from Kazakhstan pulled off a go-go platter submission against a reigning IMMAF champion, Mansour Magomedov. Like, my oh my, come on. The level of submissions here. We saw a Von Flue choke yesterday from Stephanie Page Evans, Team Wales, and now we're seeing a go-go platter.
An OSP choke. Bit of a controversial situation. I think some people would like that name changed.
Von Prue. Give it a Von Prue choke. But either way, just come on, Steve. Right here, you saw that go-go platter.
We are seeing a lot of heavy submissions in here today. I mean, that one was good. That was good. But for me, the one that I really enjoyed today was Shak Hamatov, which I think I've butchered, but I hopefully got it right.
Can anyone blame you? These Kazakhstani names are a bit difficult.
They are difficult. What we saw him, he was against Zobe from France, and to be fair, it was an interesting fight. It was a little bit back and forth. There was some excellent movement from both fighters, but there was a very technical takedown, which I really enjoyed, and that caught my attention. And then he transitioned that into this triangle choke, which left Zobe asleep.
Slick.
A triangle is one of those that you see people learn. It's one that you know about quite a lot, and it's something that early UFC you might have saw a lot of, but it's something that's a little bit rarer nowadays. I think people are used to the defenses against it. I think people are a little bit slicker, certainly in the pro game, because
especially inside the guard, as well.
Yeah, and people usually know how dangerous a guard is, but I think it was so fast, so slick, so technical that was my submission of the night tonight.
Let's have a look.
Right, then that was the highlights from today's semi-finals and quarter-finals, because the mix up there with the juniors and the seniors. Tomorrow we have got the junior finals and we have got the senior semi-finals, and we've got a fight each for you guys to watch here. And I'm going to tell you mine first, and I'm going to say in the juniors we have got bantamweight final Muhammad Mokaev against Yamaguchi from Japan for the third time.
Incredible. I mean, I won't be able to convey my excitement here, but all day I've been giddy like Christmas because we're getting a trilogy match between Muhammad Mokaev, Ryo Yamaguchi. For the last two events, in the World Championship and the European Championship, they have faced off in the finals. And nobody can lie, Ryo Yamaguchi has been outclassed in both of those fights. But this tournament, potentially, we've seen Mokaev go through the toughest run of tests he's ever had. And Ryo Yamaguchi, the biggest news here today, had the bye with his opponent not being able to compete today.
100 grams overweight, couldn't compete. So Yamaguchi gets a bye into the final, or, as we like to call it, a day off, which is very interesting. In this tournament format, something like that can have a massive impact. I don't think this has leveled the playing field. I think it's very much tipped it in Yamaguchi's favour. And this is why, for me, Mokaev has to pull out all of the stops. He's gone through some serious adversity this week already, with the worst round of his life in terms of dropping points, and also a round which we think he might have still won somehow, but he got rocked and he was very close to being finished. So if he manages to pull this out of the bag, I think this is his most impressive victory to date.
Absolutely. I cannot wait for that one, Stephen.
And what's the one you're looking for?
Well,
it's the big boys.
It's the big boys. You know, that fight right there, Mokaev, Yamaguchi, that might be a technical affair. We're expecting knockouts in my pick to watch.
I think they're reinforcing the cage down there for it.
Right
actually.
There, exactly. Big Pasha Karachayev, the reigning heavyweight champion, against Shamsuddin Makhmedov, who we talked about earlier in the show, a junior champion, a junior gold medalist, moving up to super heavyweight. He won his gold at heavyweight. He's a bigger boy now. He got a quick knockout today. I cannot wait, because those two guys, there's no playing around. As soon as they step into that circle, they're getting into range and they're going to swing.
Someone is going to sleep. I can't wait for this one. Let me know in the comments if you've clocked any of the fights today, and if you are tuning in tomorrow for some of the IMMAF finals and semi-finals, depending whether it's juniors or seniors. Let us know in the comments. Let us know who you're excited for. And let us know who's impressed you in this tournament. And we'll be back with another one of these shows, wrapping up the finalists, the medalists, and who we are looking forward to seeing in the senior finals come Saturday. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.